So this is the title of Bhishma, the evil of good. As we discussed in the beginning of Karna's title, the in this world, good intentions, good intelligence, good selflessness, the simple principle, when a very, very transparent person who does not live for himself, he lives for others, they develop a kind of an attitude, consciously or unconsciously, because I'm so selfless, therefore my decisions also right. मैं कुछ तो गलत करता ही नहीं हूं, इसलिए जो भी मैं आपको बता रहा हूं has to be right. No, I cannot tell, and that's true also from their heart's perspective. They do not have any selfishness, but what happens is that their good intentions, their selflessness is not sufficient to taking right decision. So more than Bhishma had no arrogance, no overconfidence, never remotely controlling people. Means if you see in the entire Mahabharata from very beginning to end, one character where you always fall in love, always fall in love, is that character is the character of Bhishma Dev. Means from his birth to his departure, there is no iota of any kind of selfishness. वो जीवन खुद के लिए कभी जिया ही नहीं. Nothing about himself. It was all about others, all about others, all about others. But the irony is that what the Mahabharata is telling us, almost all of his decisions, I'm not saying 100% because nobody makes 100% mistakes. Nobody does. Yes, sir, almost all of the decisions were counterproductive to the growth of the Kurukul. In fact, as we study Bhishma, we will understand that what a painful reality of Bhishma's character. Therefore, when we discuss Yudhishthira Maharaj tomorrow, will discuss more elaborately. The battle of Kurukshetra was not fought. Gita was not spoken by Krishna to inspire Arjuna to kill Duryodhan, Dushasan and Shakuni. So Bhishma Dev, the point of Bhishma Dev is, it's an irony, as much as Dhritarashtra was responsible for this brutal war, for a wrong intention, Bhishma Dev unconsciously is equally responsible for this war. That is the tragedy of life. That is the reality of life. The good people with their good intention, with the wrong strategy, can create greater violence than they could ever imagine in their life. Therefore, Mahabharata is an interesting psychology. When we see it as it is, then we realize, oh God, how many layers, how many ayams means perspectives are there in life. When we get stuck to one perspective, good is good, bad is bad, 0 to 1, that never works, never functions. Does our intention matter? Good seeds, they give good results. Bad seeds give bad results. But what about intentions? We discuss this little bit. When you plant neem seed or you plant a thorny plant hoping that it will give tulsi leaves, or if it will give lemon fruits, what do you get? You don't. However much you pray, don't tell the miracle stories. You know, Lord Chaitanya planted that mango seed and instantly mangoes came, and the mangoes had no seed from inside and no peel from outside. That only happens to Lord Chaitanya. If it will never happen to you. When you plant a mango seed, a fertile mango seed, because the laws of nature are laws of nature, extraordinary stories should not be made into regular stories. And that is what human beings does. A failing student expects aggressive miracles. He gets attracted to something which does not happen. When he hears that Rabindranath Tagore got PhD without going to college, he also feels that I should be the next one. But life is not desired like that, designed like that. Therefore, all the time the miracles men keep on making their life very miraculous. Their funding, their money keeps on increasing. Why? Because there are millions of people from all sections of life, even those who are doing research in BRC, they also go to the miracle man. Will my invention come true? बोलेगा ये टाइट लगा ले हो जाएगा, मुझे 10,000 रुपए दे दे. Because that is the nature of the mind, to defy the nature of law. And therefore, when people go to watch movies, which hero in the world can fight 20 people alone? और उसको एक बूंद पसीना भी नहीं था, खून तो छोड़ ही दो. How is it possible? But as much as fantastic concept to do, he is flying from one helicopter to another helicopter. Why Bahubali became so famous? Because it is all about fantasism only. It is not human, it is not normal. So, it is again the brutal realities of life. However good intentions you have, the question is what seed have you planted? In regards to material result, in devotional principle, good intentions do give good devotional credit. But we are talking about material reality. In material reality, your selflessness, your sacrifice, your availability to others is great. That is Bhishma. But your decisions are wrong. What do you get? You get a wrong tree only. Duryodhan was a seed that led to war, even though Bhishma Dev had great intentions about him. सुधरेगा सुधरेगा सुधरेगा. अगर बैड सीड के सामने बैठकर आप सुधरेगा का मंत्र बोलेगे, क्या होगा? वो सुधरेगा नहीं. It will not work. He couldn't create harmony between the two cousins just with great intentions. He had great intention to harmonize between bad and good. Seeds will fructify even though one may or may not have a great intention. For a good result, intentions and seeds have to be hand in hand. दोनों साथ में जाना चाहिए. Duryodhan plus Bhishma created war. Good intentions unintentionally caused war. Good intentions where the intention of war was not there, but still war happened. Therefore, there is a concept of conscious competency and unconscious competency. And there is a conscious incompetency and there is unconscious incompetency. The conscious competency creates a legacy. Unconscious incompetency, what does it do? Hear carefully. Unconscious competency attacked by the conscious incompetency. Conscious incompetency has the power to destroy the unconscious competency. For example, organic farming, our farmers were competent to grow in a fertile land using cow manure, right? We used to grow 18,000 varieties of rice, and 1 acre of land used to produce so much of grain. But then this unconscious competency, it was not written, it was ऐसे हो जाता था. They could not defend their own skills. When a better personality dressed up very nicely, you know, conscious incompetent person in the name of a degree holder in agriculture came with the fertilizer saying that you will get greater produce, what happened? The conscious competency fell into unconscious incompetency. That is the history of Indian civilization. The history of Indian civilization is that whether it is family values, whether it is Gurukul, whether it is finance, why do you think the Indian family is saved now also? I don't know now, at least about 1990 before globalization happened, 27% of their earning was saved compared to any other country. Why was it? Because even in economics, there is a feminine economics. The masculine economics is what you earn but spend more than what you earn. So when Narsingh Rao wanted to liberalize everything, they said Indian disease is to save, but it is not good for the market. How does market grow? When you consume, the market grows. You shop till you drop. No, that is how you increase the market. The Indian mentality, when I say Indian mentality, generally, is that you do not talk only about your own self. Your affection to your family, your attachment to your family, what does it do? Not only your own immediate family, your children, your wife, your husband, uncle, aunt, and everybody comes. In fact, one survey says some of the biggest restaurants in South India were supported by the sisters who were married to some other family. They told their husband, मेरे भाई के लिए थोड़ा support करो. Saving. I always tell the story of our Lal Bahadur Shastri. How far it is true, I don't know, but it makes a point that someone came to him asking, my dear sir, I want 300 rupees for arranging my daughter's marriage. Can I lend money from you? Shastri ji said, मेरा जो भी तनख्वाह आता है, whatever salary I get, I give it to my wife. Go and ask, because she is the finance minister. I am a prime minister, but she is the finance minister. Before he was a prime minister. So this man came to her, he said, no, I need some money, can you lend? So she gave him 300 rupees. So when Shastriji came back home, he asked, how did you manage that much of money? He said, our salary is only 30 rupees. He said, you know what, our expenses are only 18 to 20 rupees every month. So therefore I was saving 10 rupees. So like that I had saved. So he saw only 30 rupees per month. But he didn't know that she has 300 rupees. Maybe she had more also. So that is called as thinking not only about my own self, because myself is extended. Myself is extended because relation. Stri means what? To expand. Prabhupada explains. In a positive sense, expand means what? ये भी मेरा relative, वो भी मेरा relative, इसको भी देना है, उसको भी देना है, सबको देना है. और जब तक आप पैसा सेव करके देखो तो अच्छा है, लेकिन क्रेडिट कार्ड मिल गया तो फिर खत्म हो गया. So he went back to his office. He told his boss, he said, make my salary 20 rupees because the need is 20 rupees only. So the point is that the feminine economics works wonders. I don't know why did I say this. Drifted, huh? conscious competency. So, here unintentionally caused war. Dhritarashtra was consciously wanted conflict between the Kurus and the Pandavas, therefore he invited Kanika. And Bhishma Dev wanted consciously, togetherness between the Pandus and the Kurus, but unintentionally, unconsciously, उनको इतना बड़ा युद्ध देखना पड़ा. केवल देखना नहीं पड़ा. One good thing about Balram ji, he walked away from the battle. I am a neutral party. Only the last moment he made some gadbad, when Duryodhana was fighting. But Bhishma, being extremely neutral to both the parties, loved both the family members, but he stood against the dharma principle. He stood against dharma, he stood against Satya, and it stood against Krishna, fighting on behalf of Kauravas. Therefore we said, neutrality always take the side ultimately, the negative part. Very interesting, nice quote. Life is a gift of nature, but beautiful living is a gift of wisdom. जीवन एक प्रकृति का भेंट है, but to live with wisdom, a beautiful living is a gift of wisdom. Common sense, Prabhupada talks about samanya gyan, common sense, especially in Kali Yuga, people have limitless information. You pull out something, and if you are missing, they will tell you because the Google is there. Right. The information what we gather in the present civilization, within 7 days we gather so much of information what was known by a person he lived for 100 years. Itna information hai. But application of that information, where you press the chariot, the horses communicate to you and bend down. Not like Karna and Shalya. So, Bhishma Dev, his life was great gift of Ganga and Shantanu. He had a great knowledge, but the decisions would always go wrong. Learning, can you imagine how many teachers he had? He did not learn from any ordinary school. Parshuram ji was his martial teacher. Parshuram, जिन्होंने किसी को नहीं सिखाया. Parshuram teaching Bhishma while he was slaughtering all the Kshatriyas. You can imagine that how much Parshuram was fascinated by his own student. Even though he was a Kshatriya, taught him. Not only taught him, Parshuram was defeated by Bhishma Dev in one sense. That was the greatness of Bhishma Dev. Brahaspati, the guru of the Devatas, not his school. बृहस्पति स्कूल होता है लेकिन बृहस्पति नहीं पढ़ाता है उधर. No? Lot of these musicians and big teachers, their names are there. Of course, now they have their online courses, videos, but their people teach. But Bhishma they have learned directly from Brahaspati. Vashishta, मतलब दिग्गज देखो कैसे टीचर लोग हैं. Vashishta taught him spiritual knowledge. And Shukraniti self-learnt. As he was never shaken from dharma even a bit, he was given status of Devavrat. He had this title Devavrat, connected to such a legacy. Nobody in the entire Mahabharata fascinates you as much as Bhishma. There is no controversy about Bhishma Dev. There is no controversy. Controversy means, creating us false stories. What is there is about pain. The pain of Arjuna, just imagine for Arjuna, the journey of shooting at Bhishma Dev was not easy. If Arjuna, the greatest of the warrior, is fascinated not because he was a grandfather. Sometimes you love your grandfather because you feel affection for your grandfather. But if you become a better than your grandfather, Arjuna had a continuous fascination about Bhishma Dev. Even when he became greatest of the warrior, you can imagine how great Bhishma was. And then along with all these great skills and power and resources, he never shook from dharma. मन में कभी स्वार्थ की भावना आई नहीं. और ऐसे पर्सनालिटी being a responsible for the brutal war, can you imagine what he must have gone through? Therefore, how can he be angry with Bhishma Dev? Bhishma is the main character who is entwined in the entire Mahabharata from beginning to end. When you open the Mahabharata, Bhishma comes. And you conclude the Mahabharata in one sense with Bhishma Dev only. After showing his skill in Shastra, weapons, he showed his skills in Shastra, then he showed his skill in Shastra. 2 cantos of the Mahabharata, Shanti Parva and Anushasan Parva, is filled with limitless wisdom. Very Bhishma Dev was not able to answer one question of Draupadi. And that very Bhishma answered hundreds and thousands of questions asked by Yudhishthira Maharaj. That was his capacity. He compiled Vishnu Sahasranam, 1,000 names of Vishnu. Bhishma Vacha in many places of the epic is simply wonderful. Bhishma Vacha. Vishnu Sahasranam, somebody said, is the actual national anthem of India. Is actual coordinator, because whether you are a Vaishnava, whether you are a Shaivite, whether you are a South Indian, whether you are a North Indian, what people used to do? They recite Vishnu Sahasranam. They used to recite Vishnu Sahasranam. Whether it was Shankaracharya, he encouraged people to recite Vishnu Sahasranam, or whether it is Ramanuja and Madhvacharya. Lord Chaitanya also said, Namna Mahakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. Lord has millions and names. And where did Bhishma recite this Vishnu Sahasranam? Another principle of name, the holy name of the Lord, this proves, usually when you do any rituals, any puja, there are prior sankalpas which you have to do. Shuddhata ke liye, मन के द्वारा, बुद्धि के द्वारा, शरीर के द्वारा. But with the holy name you don't have to. You should, but you don't have to. Niyamita smarane nakala. And when did Bhishma Dev recite the Vishnu Sahasranam? When he is lying on the bed of arrows. His body, when we see pictures made by some artist, it looks like उसमें कुछ खून ही नहीं निकल रहा है. There is no blood only. Right? As if it is a acupuncture. Acupuncture में भी खून निकलता है. So how is it possible that you don't paint a picture of his body dried blood? And when the blood stays, and he denied for all kinds of medicine. No bathing. No close-up. दांत साफ नहीं है, पानी नहीं है, स्नान नहीं है, and he was lying on the bed of arrows for almost 40 days. He did not instantly leave his body on the day of Sankranti. Uttarayan appears then he goes on to live for more days. So he had no facility for cleansing himself before he could recite. Basically, from an external point of view, he was unclean. But when he recited the Vishnu Sahasranam, he proved that if you have devotion, you chant God's name wherever you are. Invoke Ganga in your heart, bathe yourself, which he always did, but physically his body was covered with limitless external, uncleanliness. His personality. We'll take one by one. Draupadi disrobing. Because he faltered, his decision brought difficulties to him and the Pandavas. Repented for his action before his departure. So, we see the story of Draupadi's disrobing is one of the greatest low point of Bhishma Dev. Why? It's very interesting when Draupadi, when she was brought down forcefully, by Dushasan, grabbing her hair, he brought her down. Because Vidura raised this question, he said, this game is invalid because Yudhishthir has already lost himself. जो अपने आप को खो गया है, वो दूसरों को दाव पे कैसे लगा सकता है? How can he put Draupadi into stake when he himself is lost? Because Draupadi is a different personality. So Vidura brought this point in the assembly, which caused confusion amongst everybody. Arey, my God, we have lost Draupadi now. We have not won her, we have lost her. So they dragged her down to ask her to ask this question, because Draupadi also asked this question. When she came in the assembly, and she publicly raised this question. When she raised this question publicly, and she came to Bhishma also. And what Bhishma does, just visualize yourself being in that assembly. We would never imagine that, imagine being in a Draupadi's condition. No. Only she had to handle it. Even in imagination, we should not, to give an example, should say that. And what Sabha, when you know that you are helpless, if you are surrounded by villain people, that is one thing, but you are surrounded by villain and good people also, and good people are more powerful physically, intellectually, emotionally, they can protect you. But Draupadi is asking this question to Bhishma. She said, my dear Pitamaha, what do you think? What does the Sukshmata of Dharma say? क्या मैं हारी हूं या मैं हारी नहीं हूं? And Bhishma says, my dear Draupadi, he says, it is most wonderful, even in this condition you want to know what dharma is. ऐसे संकट में भी आप धर्म को जानना चाहते हो, मैं आपकी प्रशंसा करता हूं. And Bhishma answers. How does he answer? He answers in a very ambiguous way. There is no clarity. And it is explained that one person explained that the answer which Bhishma had to give, he was thinking, this is not there in the Mahabharata, but many people have given many perspectives, that if Bhishma had told that you are independent, Draupadi's connection to her husband would be discarded. वो non-protected women बन जाती थी. उस समय she couldn't afford that. And second, if Bhishma would answer, actually Draupadi, you're always under the control or protection of your husband, then she would also receive the slavehood, because the Pandavas had become slave of the Kurus. And that's what the Kurus were looking. Since the Pandavas are slave, Draupadi is slave, and slave का कोई dignity नहीं होता. If you study in the scripture, slavery in the Vedic culture is not there. But the mentality of slavery is there. Misusing her was their idea. कुछ भी करेंगे उनको. But the point was, this was not the need of Draupadi. She was not asking whether I'll become a slave. If you answer in this way, I'll be slave. If you answer in this way, I'll be unprotected. That was not the question. Bhishma ध्वनि को समझ नहीं पाए. Draupadi was not asking question. Draupadi was seeking for protection. देखो कितना बड़ा. Jatayu could understand the feeling of Sita. What was the calling by Sita to Jatayu? She said, please Jatayu, convey the message to Lord Ram that I've been kidnapped by Ravan. But what did Jatayu do? He went beyond simply conveying the message to Lord Ramachandra, because he saw not only she's asking me to protect, Lord, not only she's asking me to convey to Lord Ram, she's basically looking for shelter, protection. So Jatayu said, okay, मैं बोल देता हूँ, चिंता मत कर, जा तू. Just see the brutal words, what we back and forth hear and listen. The heart is not there. And Jatayu fought. He fought in such a way, eventually lost the battle because Ravana was young fighter. And Jatayu was lying in the pool of blood, but he would not give up his life. Why he would not give up his life? He did not think, अभी मरने पर भी चलेगा, मैंने तो बहुत सारा युद्ध अच्छा से कर लिया. That was not sufficient. Fighting himself and dying would not complete the project, because Ram need to know that somebody has kidnapped Sita, and he was waiting. And when Lord Ram came, the first thing Ram did was misunderstood Jatayu. Why misunderstood? Because Jatayu was covered with blood. He thought that Sita has been consumed by Jatayu, was about to strike, but then Jatayu spoke to Ram. And when Lord Ramchandra heard, and he gave the message to Lord Ram, he said, my dear Ram, the medicine, even in that condition, he became so poetic. He said, the medicine what you are looking, which will save your disease. And what is the disease? The disease of separation from Sita. That medicine has been taken away by Ravan. After saying this, Jatayu left his body in the lap of Lord Ramachandra. Jatayu could understand, ध्वनि को समझ पाए, लेकिन द्रौपदी के ध्वनि को जो बृहस्पति के शिष्य थे, द स्टूडेंट ऑफ बृहस्पति, द स्टूडेंट ऑफ परशुराम, द स्टूडेंट ऑफ शुक्र, द सन ऑफ गंगा, शांतनु महाराज, सेल्फ थॉट, all having all this thing, what happened? Bhishma focused on answering the question rather than stopping the Kauravas. And even though whatever answer he gave, at that point of time, that answer caused Draupadi greater trouble. Was it his intention to put Draupadi in trouble? No, his intention was to protect Draupadi from the tag of independent women after getting married also. वो टैग से रक्षा करने के लिए जा रहे थे. Therefore, as I said, हनुमान जी के बारे में वर्णन क्या किया है? The definition of हनुमान जी is बुद्धि, भक्ति, शक्ति का कॉम्बिनेशन है, और स्ट्रैटेजी भी है, तंत्र भी है. But some other Bhishma failed here, and therefore that became the greatest trouble. We'll study a little bit parenthood of Bhishma. Ganga was his mother, Shantanu was his father. Both personalities had cursed, and Bhishma was also one of the Ashtavasus, a kind of a devata, and he did a crime, very interesting, of stealing the milk and the cow. Of the Ashtavasus, the 7 Vasus did the minor mistake, but the youngest of the Vasu did the major crime. So when they came down, so Ganga married Bhishma Dev on one condition, that every child born, whatever I do, you don't question. So 7 children were dropped in the river, and their curse was over. Nobody could understand, because she could never explain that. Basically, drowning them in the river was not killing them, but basically finishing them from this world and sending them back to their original position. But Bhishma was supposed to stay longer. Again, aapke sanskar, this birth was also in one sense the great personality, but still there was not clarity, like Yudhishthira Maharaj. A great lineage. What a lineage of Shantanu Maharaj. In his kingdom, Shantanu was ruling the earth. All kinds of animals and reptiles were banned from killing. Sometimes people say, if you again, I don't know how people can write books. They say actually vegetarian was non-existing in India till the Buddhism and Jainism came. After that, the Brahminical society accepted vegetarianism, tried to compete with them. मतलब वो कैपिटलिस्ट लोग जब भी किताब वगैरह लिखते हैं ना, वो हमेशा धंधा ही देखते हैं, कंपटीशन ही देखते हैं. Not only one, Uparichara, he also stopped animal sacrifice. It is not that animal killing was not there, but we are talking about in Shantanu's kingdom, animal killing was not there. The greatness of Vedic civilization is there is always a flexibility in regards to life. In the Ramayana, Bharadraj Rishi, Shantanu stopped animal killing, but Bharadraj Rishi, the father of Dronacharya, the student of Valmiki Maharshi, when the army of Bharat came to his ashram on the way to bring Lord Ramachandra back to Ayodhya, Bharadraj Rishi saw there was variety of soldiers from different races and background. And there were soldiers who were consuming meat. Bharadraj Rishi himself never consumed. I am speaking this, directly so that there should not be confusion caused by others. Saying that, अरे देखो मांस खाने के लिए allowed है. So what Bharadraj Rishi did? Bharadraj Rishi arranged a special kitchen for these people and cooked the meat of peacock, rabbit, deer, everything he cooked. Personally, he never consumed because what you eat was a private business. It was a private business. So he did not get into all that, band kar do. That's your life. Because what does Vedic literature talks about? It doesn't talk about right and wrong. It talks about action and consequences. Do you have the capacity to handle? Somebody said, how can there was polygamy? You can't handle one. If somebody can handle 5, so that is his action and his consequences. Why you have to make a system which is universally applicable in the same way? Doesn't work like that. The world is full of diversity. Bhima can eat hundreds of rotis together. You can't question, अरे तेरे को केवल 4 ही खाना पड़ेगा. हर चीज के लिए आप राशन नहीं कर सकते हो. So Bhishma's father Shantanu Maharaj, in his kingdom, for whatever reason, he had stopped all kinds of animal killing. That doesn't mean that all the kings followed that rule. That doesn't mean that the kingdom was bringing a lower standard. आपका जीवन है, dharma is privately followed, but when your dharma is causing colossal destruction in public, then it becomes a legal problem. Dynasty, Purava, Kuru and Shantanu, 4 generations in between, and then 18 generations between Purava and Bharata. This kind of specific calculations are there in the Mahabharata. That is called as history, very, very precisely presented. Bharata and Hasti, 4 generations in between. Because if you study our scripture, many times after every chapter there is a dynasty chart. In the 8th canto, in the 9th canto, in the 5th canto, there is a dynasty chart is there, which we overlook. Because for us now family has become very isolated. When a child goes and tells name in the school, when we are growing up, you tell the name, your father's name, your surname, your village. It was a natural thing. The teacher would also hear. Now what do? You just tell your name. You don't tell your connection to your father. You don't connection to your surname. But during the time of the Pandavas, they would tell the entire connection to their family. So therefore, there is clear depiction of gap, when was who, and in this way, Bhishma, you know, I forgot the number where he, Purrava and Bhishma. There is a big gap, but that number is also there. Bhishma, the life of unusual decisions. What is more important, fairness or kindness? Fairness and kindness together. Kindness at the cost of fairness. Fairness at the cost of kindness. You know, again we discussed many times, to be kind is very easy, because to be kind you don't have to do anything. You can use being kind to deceive others. But being fair is very mathematical. You know, being kind you give a cake. Being fair you give a property divided properly. So therefore, Bhishma Dev continued to remain kind to both the parties. One example is, oh, it's time up, 9 o'clock. We'll stop with this one. I didn't see the watch only, I thought I just started. So, Bhishma, now imagine Duryodhan tried to burn the Pandavas. And Vidur communicated to Bhishma after the Pandavas came back alive. You know, they don't, not only they came back alive, they came back with Draupadi. They came back with their real teacher. I didn't get to discuss about, you know, who was Pandava's real teacher? Those who know don't say. How many don't know? Most people don't know. The real person who dedicated his life to be with the Pandavas and train them, his name was Daumya Rishi. Dronacharya came looking for the Pandavas with an agenda. And Pandavas went looking for Daumya Rishi with an agenda of dedicating their life and learning from him. And their agreement, what kind of agreement? Not contract. The responsibility of Daumya Rishi took, he said, I will be there with you in your good times and in your bad times. Drona was a superficial teacher, but Daumya was their substantial teacher. To such an extent that 99% of the people who know about Mahabharata, superficially, only the Pandava story, you know, battle, Kurukshetra, Arjuna had this weapon, they hardly know Daumya. Daumya stayed more with the Pandavas compared to Drona. When Dronacharya saw Pandavas were in the forest for 13 years, not even once he came to see the Pandavas. Jungle में जा सकते थे. कैसे चल रहा है आपका? Krishna came, Vidura came. Krishna came twice. Kauravas came to defeat them, to destroy them. At least once he should have come to see his favorite disciple, but never comes even once. But Daumya Rishi stayed 12 years with the Pandavas. 1 year he did not stay with them because they had to live a life of incognito. You know, he said, I can't stay because if I stay with you, then you will be recognized. But what happens? Hardly anybody recognizes the greatness of Daumya because the real teacher does not come in the forefront. He helps his student to grow. He is like Jambavan in the Ramayana, hardly glorified. He is the one who helps Hanumanji discover his potential. Daumya did the same thing, you know. So, he taught them properly. So the answer to this question, fairness or kindness, it is your good fortune you could be fair and kind at the same time. But when you become kind at the cost of fairness, that creates a war. And Bhishma, when Pandavas came back with all this, instead of giving back the kingdom to Yudhishthira Maharaj where it belonged to, he decided, you know, after all, Duryodhan is your brother only. Let Hastinapur be controlled by Duryodhan. because he's not, he's not so great in creating a new empire, तो उसको दिया. And what did he give to the Pandavas? Khandav Prasth. Khandav Prasth is like, a desert without any resources. He said, because you're competent, because you are great, because you are entrepreneurs, he said, you take this. Many times this happens. If the two sons are there, or one son and daughter is there, whatever, however combination you want to have, usually what the parents do also many times, they are compassionate to the unqualified son to the extent where they divide the power and resources equally. In regards to management, I am not saying that they should not give in regards to resources and facilities for them to live a very happy and stable life. But when it comes to governance, controlling something, managing something, when you equally divide between a qualified person and an unqualified person, you are disempowering the qualified person and putting a wrong person in the place to the extent where your company, your system becomes a name only eventually. So, instead of giving a death penalty to Duryodhan for trying to burn the Pandavas, it was not even a half murder, it was a full murder plan, including Kunti, राजमाता को मारने का और सारे पांडवों को मारने के लिए प्रयास किया. It was Pandava's strategy, they were saved. Instead of giving him a punishment, he gave him a kingdom. With what intention? They are together, let there should not be war and battle. Just see the good intentions, it did not change the bad seed. And we'll continue to discuss tomorrow with Bhishma and Yudhishthira Maharaj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
RG Media YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe.